Have you ever thought about the impact that heavy metals can have on your life? I must say, prior to having my son, I didn't. Would hear people talking about it and I would just think they're a bit over the top, a bit worried about everything in life because we would be protected from it if it was actually unsafe for us, right? But then I had my son and he did not sleep. And I spent all of my time trying to figure out why he would not sleep. And in this process, I discovered that he was extremely nutritionally depleted. And that happened because I was very nutritionally depleted from years and years of chronic stress. Now, we've gone through a process of trying to replete our bodies, and kids change a lot faster than adults do. So I have been working on my son, and we've been doing testing that shows his mineral status as well as his heavy mineral status. And what I've seen is a little bit scary. In his test results, heavy metals have been showing up. And each time we retest, more and more different heavy metals show up. And that wouldn't bother me so much if it wasn't for the changes that I see in my son as that happens. The way that he speaks and communicates with people changed. The way that he thinks and how he can focus on things have changed. The way that he functions entirely has changed. He's happier. He has more energy. His digestion works better. His brain works better. It's actually been really scary and also amazing to see the changes that have happened within him as we've eliminated these heavy metals from his body. So one example is the role of calcium in helping us and our brains to focus. Now, there are quite a few different types of heavy metals that can substitute for calcium. So if you have a lack of calcium available to your body, your brain will use something else. And then you struggle to focus because the function is compromised. And this has actually been a really, really big thing that I've seen in my son. He goes through periods where it seems like he has 20 tabs open in his brain with a different song playing. He literally cannot hear what we're saying because we're just another noise to all the noise that's happening in his brain. And then we increase his calcium nutrients, or we continue through the protocol that we're on, and then one day he wakes up and he has sharp focus again. We can have like these most elaborate conversations again because his body has managed to clear the heavy metals out of his brain and allowed it to function at optimal capacity, basically. So here's the thing about heavy metals. We can't avoid them. They are in absolutely everything. They're in our air, they're in our water, they're in our food. We use heavy metals in processing. You cannot avoid heavy metals in your life. But the problem begins when you don't have the capacity within your body to eliminate those heavy metals. So it might be that you are also nutritionally depleted and your body will actually use heavy metals in place of the minerals that it really wants because it doesn't have any available to it. So it will take what it will get. And what happens is that when the body uses those heavy metals instead of the minerals that it actually needs, the function becomes compromised. So part of that problem comes from the fact that our food is no longer as nutritious as it once was. Our soils are very depleted, so our food doesn't have the nutrition it used to have. And also our diets are not as good as what they used to be. So we are just not getting the nutrition in that our body needs to help clear out the heavy metals. And now the other side of this is that we live in a society right now where we're exposed and have a lot of stress in our lives. Heavy metals also create stress within our bodies. So if we have so much stress going on in our lives, whether it be work, financials, just the onslaught of social media and information all the time, relationships, stress can come from anywhere. We don't have the capacity to add any more stress of heavy metals to that. So rather than our body being able to have enough capacity to remove the heavy metals because there's some available stress, some space left in the stress bucket, let's say, there's no capacity. So our bodies will put the heavy metals away somewhere safe, usually in our organs, And then the function of our organs become compromised until we have the capacity to deal with them, and both nutritionally and from a safety stress point of view, to actually get rid of them. Heavy metals isn't something to fear. It is the price we pay for the modern society with all the technology that we live in. However, we do need to be aware of the things that we need to do to support ourselves for the privilege of living with all of this technology. And the main things that you can do are eat a really good diet and reduce your stress, and making sure that you're getting enough of the right nutrients in your body to support your stress response and the nutrients that you need. Seems simple, but it can be hard work. But this is how we feel good, and this is how we sleep well.